Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Podsmoker's Bible. My name is Zion. I'm the author of the Podsmoker's Bible, which contains the prophetic book of Zion, where I get my name and authority. Now, today, we are discussing chapter 22 of the Podsmoker's Bible, which is chapter 19 of the book of Zion. This is part of the dissertation, and we're kind of in the middle of something. So I'm just going to take up where I left off. That is the way of ancient peoples. When a civilization becomes peaceful and wise like the Grey, they never need to die out. Long before their sun went supernova, they began to explore space. Even as we, too, will learn to reach the stars, that is the gift of all lasting races. To create an enduring peace that ensures eternal life for a species. That is the true gift of the Grey. They come to teach us their part in our story. We are forever family. We will learn to be like them. We will be gods ourselves someday, as we too seek out a new home. We too will teach others the ways of life and of peace. Hmm. Who is like unto the Lord our God, who dwelleth on high? Well, someday we will be like them, ancient and wise, able to travel the stars, destined to seek out new earths to call home. But we are still a long, long way from being the delightful people that we are said to become, a people equal to God. We will also meet the 12 other species that are known as a vast economic unit that trades with each other in open market that uses barter instead of trade. The governing council of this trade federation rarely meets. So it really isn't a federation, so to speak, just a big group of species that interact on a trade basis. They're bound by peaceful trade, and soon we will be part of this 13 species conglomerate. So the answer is, who is like God? Well, no one on earth yet. We humans have just begun to be advanced by the Grey. Our current technology is from them, of course. The United States and other nations may have Shanghai tech, but we were always going to get that tech anyway. It was going to be given to us. But because I'm real sure, positive, that the Grey came here with what is to them very ancient technology. They have much, much more sophisticated stuff than the simple computers that we use today. What we have is nothing compared to what they use on a daily basis. But they came here with technology that was at our next level in order to teach us to advance so that we could learn step by step the way they did. We're just now taking baby steps towards eternal spacefaring status. We can't learn to use advanced technologies like they use without a primer. So, we stole what they were always intending to give us anyway, the primer to the next stage of our technological evolution. Our God, who is on high, which is a totally different level of technology. We perceive them only because our THC receptacles are open and active. So, the prohibition of marijuana is a burden to the entire human species. If the use of drugs is for humanity's benefit, how can you justify its illegal status or the war opposing its use? God, our true, living, spacefaring God, needs us to use marijuana so that they can teach us on high, where they can be heard by us. Zion 10:16-19 is Zion 19:23 or 20 to 23. I'm taking this now verse by verse. Okay? So, Isaiah 10:16. Therefore shall the Lord of hosts, send among his fat ones leanness, and under his glory he shall kindle a burning like the burning of a fire. And this passage tells us that not only marijuana, but other drugs like meth are also part of God's plan. Yes, even methamphetamine is sanctioned by God. Why? Because the stronger the drug, the better the connection. I actually used methamphetamines while I deciphered the prophecy text. It took me 4 months of intense work. I needed the meth to allow me to do the work without interruption. The flow of alien thought had to be strong to provide the detailed um, analytical concentration that was necessary for the Book of Zion to be done in a timely manner. It would have taken me years to figure it out on my own. The reference to smoking meth is obvious. When you smoke meth, the fire is under the bowl. When you smoke marijuana, you put the flame on top of the bowl. This is also a very obvious reference to the fat ones becoming lean, which is the result of using methamphetamine. That is not to say that meth is perfect or a good drug. It is not a perfected drug. It is also not used wisely or properly. It is a very potent hosting drug. A hosting drug is used to allow the gray to actually inhabit the body completely, or as we know it, to be possessed by the god. The Delphi prophetesses used a meth-like drug to channel Apollo. It's the same thing. Alcohol is also a possession aid, but it tends to be a one-sided hosting. Meth is a much better tool for this purpose. Its effects last much longer, and the body has no drunken effect. The host doesn't have to counter the ill effects of the drunk as you do with alcohol. Meth also makes the gray better able to enjoy the dual nature of the hosting. It's not just the god that uses the human host, but the human also enjoys the host's body back home. It's a two-way connection. Meth allows both souls to be sober while being hosted. Because meth is such a powerful spiritual tool, it must be used wisely. We don't use it wisely yet, but it will be used safely in our future. Those priests who choose to use this drug will have high priority contact with the gray because the use of meth is so good for soul transfer from one body to another. This is a vital part of the interspecies communication technique. Meth felicitates this spiritual ability. The ability of the gray to transcendentally leave their bodies is a form of quantum science. It's that Einstein spooky action at a distance, on a human scale. Thought binds two souls together, and quantum blink transfers the souls. It's the Freaky Friday movie come to life. The quantum mechanics is the method used, and methamphetamine is the tool which is most prevalent on Earth for this particular purpose. Now, I'm not a quantum physicist, so I don't know how to qualify the blink, but it is an actualizing principle. I think, therefore I am. I think I am here, and then I think I am there. And by thinking it in real time, I make it real. In quantum reality, the belief, the thought, creates what comes into being. In a finite space, without outside intrusion, a single entity can create anything. That is how true a force quantum is. It is truly the basis of physical reality. But we live on a much larger scale. Single is micro. But all of us thinking realities into being is a macro scale. In a planet, the thought forms that become reality are the ones that have the most thought forms behind it. And the more people there are who believe in a single thought form creates a physical reality to that thought form. The reason a miracle happens is because enough people in the system believe in it. That is why false religions flourish. Not because they are true, but because the thought form of it makes its image real. By image, I mean the thought form that creates it. However, thought, false thought forms have no solid basis in fact. Life is an endless series of creations. Each creation is in itself within its own created reality. This layering effect of reality binds certain concepts into a framework. Each reality is bound by its quantum framework. Any thought form that isn't within the bounds of this framework cannot be quantified, quant, quantified. when um, required to oppose the framework, its false reality is forced to yield. It cannot hold its empty form. So, reality is in fact a combination of energies given to a belief form within a framework of a larger and larger reality that extends into infinity. We can create our own reality as long as we play by the rules laid down by those who believed before us. This is my theory of everything. I can feel Einstein and his friends nodding at me from the other side of this framework. They and so many others are waiting to be reincarnated in the next age. Those who have died but are not yet forgotten wait their turn in to be reborn. The lucky ones will await human birth, but animals are also in the mix, and they are born in their turn in whatever form is open. Most souls are born human these days. The enlightened ones wait until the new age. And the light of Israel shall be for a fire, and his Holy One for a flame, and it shall burn and devour his thorns and his briars in one day. The light of Israel, the thought form of Israel, is bound by the fire ritual. The Holy One for a flame. To obtain the Holy One, which is quantum communion, you must use a flame. Every fire-related activity in the prophecy is pot or drug related. The redemption of the family of Israel is through the sacred fire of the priesthood. Drug users are priests for Israel and for the Gentiles. We consume that which is sacred. We abuse our physical form to benefit humanity. We sacrifice ourselves to a higher thought form. We are the bridge that connects the created to the creator. And I'm going to end there today. So, may the gray watch over, guide you, protect you, and keep you from all harm. May they teach you right from wrong. May your thoughts, words, and deeds be truth, good, and light. May you always be worthy of the gray. Know that I love you. I will see you soon. Later. Because I'll never say goodbye.